Tiger Woods and Elin Nordegren's relationship became the subject of public scrutiny in late 2009 due to the scandal involving Tiger Woods' infidelity. Here's a fictionalized narrative based on real events. The hidden strain. Tiger Woods, one of the most celebrated golfers in history, had it all: fame, fortune, and a beautiful family. He married Elin Nordegren, a former model, in 2004. To the outside world, they were the perfect couple, living the dream. But behind the scenes, cracks were starting to form. Tiger's demanding career and frequent travel meant long stretches away from home. Elin, a Swedish-born beauty who had left her career behind to support her husband's, started feeling the distance, not just in miles, but emotionally. Despite Tiger's outward perfection, the pressures of stardom began to wear on him. He had been at the top of his game for years, and though he had the adoration of millions, something was missing. The relentless pursuit of victory, the attention, the fame, they all came with their own set of temptations. It started innocently enough, a flirty text here, a secret dinner there. But slowly, these brief encounters turned into full-fledged affairs. One of Tiger's first affairs began with a waitress from a nightclub in Las Vegas. Her name was Rachel, and she was young, confident, and excited to be in the presence of a superstar. They exchanged numbers, and what began as playful flirting soon spiraled into something more intense. Tiger, who had always been the embodiment of control on the golf course, found himself losing control in this new arena of temptation. The thrill of sneaking around, of living a double life, became addictive. But Tiger wasn't just seeing Rachel. There were others. A cocktail waitress in California, a nightclub hostess in Orlando. Each relationship was a secret, one that Tiger carefully shielded from the public eye, knowing that if Elin ever found out, it would destroy their perfect image. But Tiger's secret life couldn't stay hidden forever. On November 27, 2009, the truth began to unravel. Elin discovered text messages on Tiger's phone, messages from one of the women he had been seeing. In a fit of anger and disbelief, Elin confronted Tiger. The heated exchange turned physical. In the early hours of the morning, after an argument that escalated out of control, Elin found herself in a moment of despair. She took a golf club to Tiger's car, smashing the windows and making her fury clear. Tiger, startled and injured, fled the house in his car, only to crash into a tree, sustaining minor injuries. The media immediately began speculating. The details of Tiger's affairs quickly spilled into the press, with women coming forward and sharing their stories. The world watched as Tiger's carefully crafted image as the all-American athlete crumbled. His endorsements vanished, and his golf game suffered. But the real tragedy was the breakdown of his marriage to Elin. Elin, heartbroken and humiliated, left Tiger and took their 2 young children with her. The couple's divorce, finalized in 2010, was one of the most high-profile splits in celebrity history. Despite everything, Tiger issued a public apology, admitting his infidelity and asking for privacy as he worked to rebuild his life. As for Elin, she slowly rebuilt her life, focusing on her children and her own career. She eventually moved on, finding peace away from the media spotlight. Tiger, for his part, worked to regain his focus on golf and his personal life. He later remarried and continued to struggle with the fallout of his past mistakes. The story of Tiger Woods and Elin Nordegren is a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most perfect-seeming relationships can be plagued by betrayal, and that no amount of fame or success can shield anyone from the consequences of their actions. This fictionalized account captures the emotional weight and public fallout of their real-life situation, blending fact with an imagined narrative. The aftermath of Tiger Woods and Elin Nordegren's highly publicized divorce continued to unfold in the years that followed, but the emotional impact and lasting scars of betrayal were not easily forgotten. For both, the years post-scandal would be marked by personal reflection, healing, and attempts at redemption, but also by the lingering effects of the public's judgment. Tiger's struggle and redemption. In the wake of the scandal, Tiger's once invincible aura crumbled. His every move was scrutinized by the media, and his reputation, previously built on his remarkable athleticism and image as the perfect family man, was shattered. Not only had he lost his wife and family, but his career also took a hit. His performance on the golf course faltered, with Tiger's confidence shaken by both his personal demons and the public's judgment. The months following the scandal were dark for him. He entered rehab, not for substance abuse, but for sex addiction, acknowledging that he had struggled with the need to seek validation from numerous women outside his marriage. He began to speak openly about the damage he had done to Elin, his children, and to his own image. The public apology he delivered was heartfelt, but his efforts to repair his reputation felt hollow to many, particularly those who had seen him as a symbol of perfection. Yet over time, Tiger slowly began to rebuild his career. He faced criticism, of course, but there were also moments of triumph. His resilience, although questioned, shone through as he started to win tournaments again. He also took part in charity work and tried to find ways to make amends for his past mistakes, including being more transparent in his personal life. Tiger's public journey to redemption was a long, difficult one, and while he could never fully escape his past, he found some peace in returning to the game he loved. In 2019, after nearly a decade of struggles, Tiger achieved one of the greatest comebacks in sports history when he won the Masters tournament, his first major victory in 11 years. The triumph was bittersweet, with Tiger acknowledging that while winning again felt like a personal victory, it could never replace the broken parts of his life, Elin's healing and new beginnings. As for Elin, her journey was a different one. In the years following her divorce from Tiger, she was largely out of the public eye, focusing on raising her children in a more private, stable environment. The media had been relentless, often speculating about her reactions and what had gone wrong in her marriage, but Elin refused to engage. Instead, she sought therapy, focusing on healing from the emotional wounds and moving forward with her life. Elin found solace in her personal growth. She went back to school, earning a degree in psychology, and started a career in the field. Her story wasn't just one of a woman wronged by a famous husband. It became one of strength and resilience. She refused to let her identity be defined by her ex-husband's mistakes. Despite the trauma she had experienced, Elin chose to maintain a healthy co-parenting relationship with Tiger for the sake of their children. Over time, their interactions grew more civil, as Tiger made genuine efforts to repair their bond as co-parents. Elin's children were the center of her world, and she prioritized their well-being over everything else, ensuring they had a stable, loving home. Though Elin never remarried, she eventually found happiness in other ways. She had a few quiet relationships, none of which garnered the public attention that her marriage to Tiger had. She moved to a peaceful, private estate in Florida, away from the prying eyes of the media. The tragedy of her broken marriage, while painful, was ultimately a chapter she grew beyond. Tiger and Elin, a complicated relationship. Though Tiger and Elin's marriage was irrevocably broken, there was an unspoken bond between them. Both had shared moments of genuine love, and despite the betrayal that destroyed their marriage, there was still mutual respect in their roles as parents to their children. Over the years, they managed to maintain an amicable relationship for the sake of their 2 kids, even attending family events together, such as their children's graduations or sports events. Yet, their interactions were always tinged with the past. Tiger, in his interviews, occasionally spoke of regret, not just for the pain he caused Elin, but for the broken family he could never fully fix. Elin, too, had moments of reflection. She had loved Tiger once, and while the betrayal had crushed her, she had also come to terms with the fact that people could change, even if it was impossible to undo the past. There were no grand reconciliations, no return to the headlines as a reunited family. Instead, their relationship became more of a quiet understanding, a shared responsibility for their children, and perhaps a small acknowledgement that despite the devastation they had endured, they had both grown into different versions of themselves. The final chapter, Years after the scandal had faded from the media's immediate focus, Tiger Woods and Elin Nordegren had become symbols of their own kind of resilience. For Tiger, his career may never have fully returned to its pre-scandal glory, but he proved to the world that people can rise from even the deepest falls. For Elin, the scandal had been a painful turning point, but it also led her to find new strength and independence. Both would carry the emotional scars of the past with them for the rest of their lives, but they also found a kind of peace that comes with time and self-forgiveness. The Tiger Woods and Elin Nordegren story, marked by infidelity, heartbreak, and public judgment, became not just a scandal, but a reflection on the complexities of human relationships, fame, and the possibility of healing, even after the worst betrayals.